Stop overcomplicating your art. If you've got one pencil in a few minutes, I'll show you how to finally master the face. Let's dive in. All right, let's do it. And yeah, it starts with a circle. I know. If you've been here before, you're probably doing this in your sleep. But for the new legends joining us today, draw a circle. This is the top of the skull. Simple as that. Now don't blink. Find the exact center where the eyebrows meet and mark it on your circle. Turn that into a simple plus sign. This little plus sign is your roadmap for the entire portrait. Time for the grid. Start with a horizontal line. This is your brow line. Since we're drawing a sphere, give it a slight curve to match that form. Now for the vertical axis. Since he's looking straight at us, keep it perfectly straight down the middle. If he was looking away, that line would wrap around the face just like a rubber band. Keep it simple. Ready to take your portraits to the next level? Grab the full course while the discount is still live. It's the fastest way to master this technique. Click the image on your screen or check the description for the link. Secure your spot and let's keep drawing. Now, let's divide that vertical line into 3 equal sections. First, mark the hairline at the top. The space from the hair to the brows is our first segment. Next, mirror that exact distance down to find the nose line. Finally, drop one more identical section for the chin. These 3 parts are the foundation of a perfectly balanced face. Now let's carve out the side plane. It's easier than it looks. Find the outer edges of your brow line on both sides. From there, just drop a vertical slice from the hairline all the way down to the nose line. This flattens the sides of the skull and gives your head some real 3D depth. Take a look at that lower outer quadrant on the side plane. That's exactly where the ear lives. No matter the angle, the ear is always tucked into this specific spot between the brow and the nose line. Let's just block in a simple shape for now. We'll handle the details later. Time to define the lower face. Connect your side marks down to the chin, and there's your jawline. This step bridges the gap between the sphere and the actual portrait. Clean, simple, and effective. See those 2 long blue lines? We're dropping them from the inner edge of the side slice all the way down to the chin. These act as your boundaries for the mouth. They make sure you don't go too wide or too narrow. It's a tiny detail, but it's crucial for getting that likeness right. Almost there. Give the neck and shoulders some basic lines. No need to stress over the anatomy yet. Now, let's map the features. A simple circle for the nose, and 2 ovals for the eyes. This creates the landing zones for our details. Stay focused, keep watching, and let's bring this portrait to life together. Let's build the nose. Next to our main circle, add 2 smaller ones for the nostrils. Now, find the intersection points at the bottom. This is where you define the base in those curves. Precision is key here. Get the curves right and the likeness follows. Grab your eraser to scrub away the inner overlaps. Use a lighter touch for the sides, keeping the nostrils the darkest point. Finally, add a tiny highlight on the tip and drop 2 small lines toward the mouth to bridge the gap. Clean and simple. Now, let's move to the mouth. The absolute most important thing to focus on here is that center line where the lips meet. This needs to be your darkest, most defined line. Pay close attention to those specific curves. If you can mirror the exact flow from your reference, you'll capture the character's unique reaction perfectly, whether it's a man or a woman. Look at the upper lip here. It's quite small, so we'll keep it subtle with just a bit of shading. Now, for the lower lip, notice it's not a full, solid line. It actually fades out and stays light on the corners, getting a bit darker and deeper only in the middle. Realism is all about these tiny, hidden details. The more you observe, the closer you get to perfection. Finally, add some soft shading between the nose and mouth to suggest the mustache area. Don't get bogged down in hairs, keep it simple. Then, drop a shadow right under the bottom lip to give it that 3D pop and make it stand out. At this stage, you'll notice the jawline needs some tweaking. What we drew earlier was the standard Loomis base, but every face has its own unique DNA and curves that set it apart. This is where we refine the jaw to match our reference. As you can see, his jaw is a bit wider in the middle with some very specific, subtle curves. I'm carefully tracing those exact shapes to capture his likeness. It's no longer just a template. We're tailoring the structure to fit the soul of the person we're drawing. Moving on, I'm adding some shadows to the cheeks and chin to give them more depth and dimension. As you can see, I'm using a hatching technique, placing lines side by side for that distinct textured look. We're not going for hyper-realism here, but if that's your vibe, feel free to blend it out. Using just this one pencil, I'm layering the strokes to get those deep, dark tones under the chin and the lower cheeks. I'm also blocking in the shirt and shoulders with my own personal touch. Now listen, your touch isn't something you can just learn. Every artist has their own signature. We teach you the foundations and the rules, but your unique style? That comes with time and practice. You'll find it one day without even realizing it. Moving back up to the brows, remember that horizontal line we drew right through the center of the sphere at the start? That's our anchor point. Position both brows right on that line with a balanced space between them for perfect symmetry. Instead of drawing a solid block, think of the brow as individual hairs side by side. Focus your pressure in the center to create a darker core, but keep the edges, both left and right, tapered and light. Don't make the whole thing dark, or it'll look messy and unnatural. A perfect brow is all about that soft transition at the ends. It's a simple step, but it makes a world of difference. With the brows done, let's jump straight to the ears. Since we already mapped out their position, all we need to do is refine the outer curve and block in those inner details. Remember, we're sticking with our hatching style here, no smooth blending. I'm only dropping dark tones into the deepest shadows and leaving the rest of the paper untouched to act as my highlights. This high contrast approach gives the ear instant form and light without any extra effort. Simple as that, and you've got a solid ear ready to go. To get great looking hair, follow this simple workflow. Start with the forehead. Notice those few strands falling over his brow? Map those out first with the right flow. Then, move to the areas just above the ears on both sides until the entire face is framed. Once that's set, draw the outer silhouette of the hair, top, left, and right. Getting this outer shape right is crucial because it defines the overall structure of the head. Finally, drop in your shadows. Focus on the darkest areas, like the section above the right ear and the top of the head, to give the hair real volume and depth. And finally, guys, the eyes. Most of you who follow my lessons know my usual shortcut, drawing a horizontal line under the brows to align everything. But today, we're stepping it up. No guidelines. We're doing this the pro way. Start with the crease above the eye, right between the lid and the brow. Get that curve perfect because it dictates the flow of the upper eyelid. Once you've nailed the crease on both sides, move to the upper lids. Remember, mirroring those exact curves is the secret to capturing the reference's soul. Then, define the tear ducts and the lower lids, making sure the openness of the eyes is consistent. Add some soft shading under the lower lid for that 3D volume. To finish, drop the irises in their spot and use a Jelly Roll white gel pen for that sharp highlight. That tiny white dot is what brings the whole portrait to life. And that's a wrap for today. If you made it from the first circle to the final highlight, you're already ahead of the game. Real art takes serious patience, and if you've got that, you've got a bright future ahead of you. I'll be hanging out in the comments, so drop your thoughts. I read every single one. And remember, if you're ready to truly master the Loomis Method, my full course is linked right down in the description. Thanks for drawing with me, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Keep grinding.